What's up, YouTube? I'm G Infinite. Today, I'll be talking about the Sinister Six. For those of you that don't know who the Sinister Six are, it's the most villainous group that Spider-Man has gone up against. So today's episode is on the Sinister Six. Alright guys, so the first figure I want to get into, of course, when I'm talking about the Sinister Six, they wouldn't be the Sinister Six if they didn't have an opponent who is Spider-Man. So the Spider-Man that I would normally use, especially if I'm doing a display for the Sinister Six, is going to be the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure Spider-Man. There you see him. I have him posed up in the motorcycle. That's the spider bike. And it's really cool. I really like this figure a lot. For those of you that don't know, this is the actual Spider-Man right here in the actual box that you're looking at there. And then, of course, let me show you the back of that. And that's from the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure Spider-Man. Of course, he comes with the half mask that you're looking at here. This is the half mask. And then, of course, he comes with interchangeable hands and a pizza slice. And, of course, this is a really cool figure. And this is the figure that I would use as far as having Spider-Man go up against the Sinister Six. Alright guys, so the figure I want to get into is Vulture, but before I get into Vulture, I wanted to explain to you guys the original Sinister Six is Vulture, Electro, Mysterio, Sandman, Kraven, and Doc Ock. So those are the original Sinister Six. So getting into this figure, this is the one that I would use as far as my new Hasbro figures. Definitely love this Vulture. One thing that I like about it is that it comes with an interchangeable head sculpt, and there you see the Vulture interchangeable head sculpt, which is pretty neat. And then one thing that I love about this Vulture is that it's extremely posable, and the wingspan is really cool. I like how it goes from the inside, that dark green, to that light green. And of course, I've done Vulture before in other episodes, but I just wanted to explain that this is one of the figures that I would definitely use because Vulture is one of the original Sinister Six. And I went ahead and put the head sculpt that you see there with the actual hoodie. And it just looks really cool. And then of course there you see the different patterns of green. It goes from a light green to a dark green on the chest sculpt, and then of course the bottom of the figure is mainly just a regular dark green. And this Vulture is from the Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure wave. So if you're looking for the Vulture that you want to put on your display as far as Sinister Six, this one is from the Demo Goblin Build-A-Figure wave. Alright guys, and of course the Hunter, Kraven, one of the original Sinister Six, and Kraven is just a really cool opponent. I do know that in the comics back in the day, Kraven usually would try to trap Spider-Man by creating these different traps in the comic books. However, when Spider-Man went up against the Sinister Six, he fought them all individually. Kraven sent out his lions, and it didn't really work out well for Kraven. He did get caught as one of the Sinister Six opponents, and it's just a really cool figure. I like this Kraven. This Kraven is actually from the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave, and there you see Kraven, and the Build-A-Figure is Rhino in this wave. And I really like this Kraven. I do have the Kraven from the double box set. However, I'm gonna have to go with this one as far as using him for the Sinister Six. But also, if you're wondering what weapons he came with, he only came with that right there. There you see kind of like the dagger and the stick there at the end. You see the spear. So he did come with that spear, and it's pretty cool. He did not come with this crossbow. The crossbow that you see there is from my Toy Biz Kraven. So I went ahead and added it to this Kraven because it makes this Kraven look really cool. There you see Kraven, and one of the things that I love about this Kraven is that jacket. There you see kind of like the lion on the jacket. And Kraven is just a very good opponent. As far as the Sinister Six, this is definitely the Kraven I would use. As far as all the new Hasbro figures are concerned, I would definitely go with this Kraven. And I really love the fact that they gave him those skulls that you see there on the knees. It kind of looks like knee pads, the skulls there, if you can see them. And this is the Kraven from Marvel Legends
Hasbro.
Alright guys, so the next figure that I would go with is Mysterio. I really like this Mysterio. This is more of the comic book version of Mysterio, and this is from the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave. So this is the, right there you see the picture of Prowler, not Mysterio, but this is the actual wave that it came from. So I like the fact that this Mysterio, he just looks very comic book like, and I did an episode on Mysterio, but one of the things that I love is the accessories that they gave this Mysterio. If you notice on the bottom of the feet there you see kind of like that green mist for the Master of Illusion. And Mysterio is really good at that. In the comics, Mysterio actually builds these fake X-Men, like these robotic X-Men, to go up against Spider-Man, and he gets beat as well. So don't have to tell you guys much. If you read up on the comics, you know how that winds up for the Sinister Six. But this is probably by far one of the coolest Mysterios, and I love the globe, the head sculpt globe that you see there, because you kind of see like that smoke inside the globe, but you see almost like a skeleton kind of face inside. And this is definitely one of the Mysterios that I like. As far as the whole new wave of Hasbro, this Mysterio is very, very good to create that whole Sinister Six. So this is the Mysterio that I would use normally in my Sinister Six display. Alright guys, so this next figure, of course, is the Build-A-Figure Sandman. And I'm going to go with this Sandman. I do have my Raft box set Sandman on this side, but he doesn't come with quite all the weapons that I would like him to come with. However, you can use the Raft box set Sandman, and that's also a very cool Sandman. If you notice, they're both very similar in scale, and both of them are really cool to use as far as creating the Sinister Six for display reasons. But this Sandman I really like a lot. One, because he does come with a bunch of accessories. There you see a couple more of the accessories he comes with, and of course he comes with an open sand hand, and that's a really, really cool accessory. And he does have an interchangeable head sculpt that you see there. So this is one of the reasons why I would use the Build-A-Figure Sandman, and plus he's extremely massive, and just the whole arms make him look a lot bigger in scale, and they make him look superior, especially if he's going up against Spider-Man. You're gonna need as much artillery as possible, and Sandman there has a bunch of interchangeable hands. And of course, one of my favorite features is that half face that you see there. There you see like the sand going inside into the head sculpt there. And then of course Sandman looking really vicious. So this Sandman is really the old school version of Sandman, because one, you see the green striped shirt. There you see that light green and the dark green there, and that's how we all remember Sandman, especially in the comic books. So this is the Sandman that I would use for my Sinister Six display, and this is Sandman the Build-A-Figure. Alright guys, so the next figure I would use is Electro. This Electro does come with an interchangeable head sculpt, let me make that clear. However, I'm pretty sure I have it on my other Electro, so I just wanted to show you guys what this Electro looks like. And this is the Electro I would use as far as creating the whole display for the Sinister Six, because I like the fact that the electricity is coming right from the hands. If you notice there, you can see those electrical currents coming right out of the hands. And then of course this Electro is the old school Electro. You can tell by the face mask there. And of course the upper body has that old school feel to Electro, with a little bit of the new school, because if you notice on the hands, the hands go from the green, and then they go all the way into that wrist, and they turn kind of black. Same thing with the pants. If you're looking at the pants there, they're like all black with the yellow boots. And I really love what they did with Electro here. You know he means business. The weapons are out as far as the electricity that's coming from the hands. And this is definitely the Electro I would use. This Electro is from the Space Venom Build-A-Figure. If you're looking at the box there, you see the Space Venom Build-A-Figure. And I wanted to really quick touch on a little bit. There you see my Hobgoblin on the side. And if you're wondering, why do I have Hobgoblin on the side? It's because this Hobgoblin, for those of you that don't know, in the later issue, Hobgoblin actually fills in for Sandman. Sandman actually doesn't want anything to do with the Sinister Six, so Hobgoblin comes in as one of the Sinister Six, and Sandman actually helps Spider-Man team up to fight the Sinister Six. So that's where you see Sandman kind of change a bit, and that's where you know that Sandman is actually going to help Spider-Man to defeat these guys. But of course, Hobgoblin does become one of the Sinister Six. That is after Sandman, one of the originators, leaves the Sinister Six. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that. If you wanted to change it up and not use Sandman, you can always use the Hobgoblin that you see there. And Hobgoblin is also from the Space Venom Build-A-Figure wave. So you have both the Electro and the Hobgoblin. Alright guys, so the next figure that I'm going to talk about is the leader of the Sinister Six, Doc Ock. Doc Ock is the one that formed the Sinister Six, and he's the brains behind this whole group. As you can tell, Doc Ock is fed up with Spider-Man, so he creates this group kind of like to defeat Spider-Man, but like I said, Spider-Man definitely beats the Sinister Six, and then, you know, Doc Ock's plans are spoiled. So getting into this figure, this is the Doc Ock, the newest Doc Ock that I would use. This is actually from the Spider Drone Build-A-Figure, and I really like this Doc Ock only because he kept the original kind of suit there, and you see that yellow, almost like a yellowish orange color, and then that green color uniform that he normally wears in the comics. And then you see the Doc Ock tentacles coming out there, and there you see the tentacles, and just really cool. And then you can also tell inside the tentacles, the lasers are there you see that blue light, so you know he means business. And really cool shades. I like the head sculpt a lot because I like the way they gave him those neon green shades that you see there, and it just makes him look really cool. And then of course he's clenching his teeth, which is a really good look to Doc Ock. And there you see the hair completely flat down. And this is the Doc Ock I would go ahead and use on my Sinister Six display. Alright guys, so this is a quick look at how I would display my Sinister Six. And there you see the Sinister Six. Vulture's in the back there, flying around. And of course, I put Spider-Man to go up against the Sinister Six. There you see Spider-Man and the Spider Bike. And of course, this Sinister Six is an amazing group. Definitely some of the toughest foes that Spider-Man has gone up against. And this is how I would normally display them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, hit that bell for the next notification, and definitely hit us with a like. I'm G Infinite. Peace out, YouTube.